Appearing on Teen Mom ruined Farrah Abraham's life. Hello guys, I am Georgia. To you, welcome back to my channel. Please subscribe the channel and press the bell icon for latest news updates. Farrah Abraham was one of the original Teen Mom stars, but no one could have predicted the twists her life would take. These days, she barely resembles the person she once was, both physically and in reputation. From her early days on 16 and pregnant in 2009, where she navigated the heartbreak of losing her daughter's father in a car accident while pregnant, to her turbulent run on Teen Mom from 2009 to 2012, she quickly became one of TV's most controversial reality stars. After brief stints on Couples Therapy and Celebrity Big Brother, she returned to Teen Mom OG in 2015, but her comeback was short-lived. Her volatile treatment of staff and renewed involvement in the adult industry led TV to cut ties with her in 2017. But if there's one thing Farrah brings, it's drama. So it wasn't shocking when TV producers welcomed her back for a new spin-off Teen Mom family reunion in 2022. While she was just a guest in Season 1, she returned as a regular cast member in Seasons 2 and 3. Over the years, Farrah has made countless controversial choices, often defending herself as a good person while doubling down on her bad behavior. But looking back, it's impossible to ignore TV's role in shaping these young reality stars. The fame and fortune of Teen Mom kept many cast members from growing up in a normal way, turning their struggles into entertainment. And no one leaned into the spectacle of it all quite like Farrah, who's been determined to make a name for herself by any means necessary. Farrah was only 17 when she was thrust into the public eye as a pregnant teenager. That alone made her vulnerable, but losing her daughter's father, Derek, in a car accident was undoubtedly more traumatic. Instead of being given space to grieve, Teen Mom turned her pain into a storyline one made even worse by the way her family handled the situation. Farrah's parents didn't want her speaking to Derek before his death, and after he passed, they showed little sympathy. Honestly, they acted as though his passing made things easier by removing complication of having to co-parent. Even worse, rather than protecting their daughter from media scrutiny, Farrah's parents welcomed TV cameras into their home. That set a precedent of prioritizing the show over their own daughter's emotional well-being, if they ever did. Farrah never had the chance to process her trauma privately. Instead, she had to jump straight from mourning her high school boyfriend to being a teenage mom, which was all documented on national television for millions to watch. Farrah's tragic backstory made her a compelling figure on Teen Mom, but that also meant the network expected her to keep delivering drama. The more chaos, the more screen time she got. And that translates into a higher paycheck, especially in recent years, when Teen Mom salaries depend on how much time the star appears in an episode. There's no denying Farrah played the game well. Over the years, she exhibited a cycle of extreme behavior to stay relevant, from her controversial parenting choices to her family's dysfunction. It's a pattern we've seen with many Teen Mom stars. The franchise has been on air for nearly 2 decades, and long-term fame hasn't been nice to everyone. Instead of encouraging the moms to build stable lives, TV made them financially dependent on their ability to bring the drama and generate headlines. For Farrah, that's meant constantly outdoing herself in controversy, even during times she wasn't filming with TV. One of the biggest ways Farrah has tried to stay relevant is through plastic surgery. She barely resembles the girl who first appeared on 16 and pregnant, as she's undergone various procedures to fit in with ever-changing beauty standards. This is a struggle many Teen Mom stars have spoken about, with several saying they regret the cosmetic work they got during their early TV years. Kylan Lowry, for example, has admitted she wishes she never altered her body. But Farrah took it to another level, repeatedly going under the knife despite the risks and the backlash from fans who say it doesn't look good. She claims to have had hundreds of thousands of dollars done in procedures. And what show do you think is funding that lifestyle? And TV didn't just stand by. They've actively encouraged this culture. The network has aired plastic surgery journeys as storylines on Teen Mom, turning medical procedures into entertainment. For years, the main cast made six-figure salaries, but as ratings have dropped and contracts have been renegotiated, their earnings have become dependent on screen time. And what makes better reality TV than someone suffering post-surgery complications? Farrah, like so many reality stars before her, has become a product of the system that created her. Farrah's history of bizarre behavior has kept her name in the headlines, helping her remain financially successful even during breaks from Teen Mom. She's managed to build a huge online following that keeps brands wanting to work for her even if it's for the wrong reasons. One of her most infamous attempts to advance her career was her 2013 foray into the adult industry. That year, she released a tape with adult film star James Dean. At first, she claimed it was leaked, but later admitted she had orchestrated its release. It seemed like a calculated move considering she continued creating explicit content even after the backlash. However, TV decided this was a step too far. By 2017, after years of controversies, they fired her from Teen Mom, citing a conflict with the show's image. The hypocrisy is alarming. TV had no issue airing teenage girls' sex lives on 16 and Pregnant and its spin-offs, turning their personal struggles into content. They glorified teen pregnancy, but when one of their stars made legally produced, legally distributed adult content, that's where they suddenly drew the line. Farrah, to this day, defends her decision and calls out the network for shaming her. And yet, despite firing her, MTV couldn't resist bringing her back when it benefited them, reintroducing her on its new spin-off Teen Mom family reunion in 2022, as the entire franchise was dealing with declining ratings. Another one of TV's biggest failures was allowing Farrah to remain trapped in a toxic family dynamic. Her parents had a duty to protect her, but instead they capitalized on her fame, just like the network did. Remember when her mother, Deborah Danielson, even attempted to launch a rap career off the back of Teen Mom? Unlike most cast members' parents, who stayed behind the scenes, Deborah and Michael Abraham inserted themselves into the show, fueling the drama, and more importantly, selfishly profiting from it. TV did nothing to intervene. Instead of offering Farrah real support, they kept the cameras rolling, even as her family unraveled on screen. Years later, Farrah has revealed in memoirs and interviews that she suffered physical and emotional abuse from her parents. She also claims they encouraged her to market her adult tape to boost her career. Today, she's cut ties with both of them, citing their toxic behavior. But that doesn't stop her mom and dad from continuing to chase fame by speaking to tabloids about their estranged relationship.